Welcome back, Geordies. It's Adam here with my instant match reaction for Newcastle losing at Anfield 4-1 in the end. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple of minutes quickly on Liverpool, speak about Simon Hooper and how he refereed the game, and then I'm going to do a quick run through on Newcastle. And I'm probably going to sound like Eddie Howe because for the first time in a long time, I'm starting to see positives that we can take away from this game and the PSG game. And I find myself in a position of not actually being that bothered by the result tonight because I felt that the performance was good. But we'll start with Liverpool. So I'll go through the keys parts of the game. Obviously, I kind of called this in the pre-match. I thought Dom Szoboszlai, Ekitike and Florian Wirtz would be the difference makers tonight. And absolutely, Dom Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz and Ekitike stole the show. And I'll give him credit. He's a fantastic striker. But the goals were counters and we left ourselves open purely on playing the high press. And I kind of feel like it became a basketball game. Once we got that goal and we let Liverpool kind of come on to us and we were waiting for a transition, as soon as we made this game transitional, that's where the key points of the game were won and lost. And what I will say is, for all of the plaudits that Liverpool will get over the next couple of days for a 4-1 victory, and I wouldn't say the 4-1 actually is a clear representation of how this game panned out. What I would say is, Liverpool fans, get ready. Kerkez, you need to get rid of this fucking defender, mate. He is dog shit. He is absolutely awful. That is the best game I've seen Kerkez play in a Liverpool shirt, and he is terrible. He is out of position. He can't jockey a fullback. His go-to is to grapple. Now, coming up against better players, he will struggle, as he has done all season. He's the reason that you keep losing games in the 90th minute. So, Kerkez, I would honestly bin him off. Or you need him to tuck in and cover Van Dijk, because Van Dijk, this is the guy that's standing there going, we're way too open when Anthony Gordon scores and he's out of position. So, I genuinely think there's question marks around Kerkez, question marks around Van Dijk. And I got to say, I know Liverpool fans, you love him, and I know he's been fantastic for so many years, but Mo Salah is finished. He is done, boys. Honestly. Lewis Hall, best left back in the Premier League, had him on toast all night tonight. Mo Salah looked a shadow of him for myself. And if you're paying £350,000 to £400,000 a week for a guy that can't get past a 21-year-old, you've got problems. So, yeah, Mo Salah, find your replacement. Look for the summer because you're going to need it. He is finished. And then moving on to Simon Hooper. I thought Simon Hooper actually refereed this game quite well tonight. And my only issue, because I thought he was very fair. I thought he kind of got everything kind of on par. I don't think he really put a foot wrong. I mean, there was one offside decision where we weren't offside. Other than that, as a takeaway, I thought he was pretty good. And I'm not a big Simon Hooper fan. I think the guy's not the greatest referee, but I think he did a great job tonight. What I would say is there is a lack of consistency with Premier League referees and Big Six home grounds. So what I would say is I counted as we went through. Ekitike made 5 fouls tonight. 5 fouls where Newcastle players were either on transition or were playing out. And no yellow card. And what I would say is Newcastle picked up 3 yellow cards tonight, and realistically the only one that I thought probably was a yellow was Anthony Gordon. And it's a rush of blood to the head and he thinks he can get there and he catches the keeper. But I will say, with regards to the fouls and the title speaks itself. Wirtz is the future. Florian is the future. But same old Liverpool. I've got to be honest. You boys are soft. absolutely soft. Any touch and a Liverpool player's down like they've been shot. If you watch that game, you don't see any Newcastle players roll around on the floor, and some of the tackles we had against us were terrible. But you do see Ekitike go down for a touch on the foot after he's kicked the ball. Dom Szoboszlai rolling around on the floor. Florian Wirtz rolling around on the floor. And the penalty calls. You see, I know it might sound biased, but seriously, lads, your players go down like fucking JFK in the box. They're like they've been shot, seriously. And for the least amount of contact going, it's not what I've expected to see from a Liverpool team. But otherwise, congratulations for the 4-1 win. You probably deserved the win. But moving on to Newcastle, I have to say, this is a starting lineup that we probably played at the start of the season against Leeds. No striker, Anthony Elanga, Harvey Barnes, Gordon up front, with a midfield of Joe Willock, Sandro Tonali and Jacob Ramsey. And I've got to give credit to him. Jacob Ramsey, Joe Willock, Anthony Elanga. Tonight, I thought they all played really well. I thought Anthony Elanga, that's probably one of the best games I've seen him play. And what I like about Anthony Elanga at the moment, there is theory behind this, me giving credit. I'll start with a theory. So basically, what I want to say is, if you look throughout our signings, Tino Livramento didn't hit the ground running. It took him a season. Lewis Hall didn't play for the first season, didn't come in till his second. Anthony Gordon didn't hit the ground running in his first season. Harvey Barnes didn't hit the ground running in his first season. Alex Isak didn't hit the ground running in his first season. But what I am seeing is potential. And what I would say is Jacob Ramsey has improved massively by being given the opportunity to play some regular minutes. And as has Anthony Elanga. I thought Elanga did really well tonight. And honestly, the tracking back, I'd like to see the distance covered by Anthony Elanga tonight, because I thought he put in a real shift. And in a similar vein to Jacob Murphy, he did a lot of work defensively, and I don't think he put much of a foot wrong tonight. But moving forward, it did seem like as we progressed, Eddie was just giving minutes and putting minutes into players' legs. Will Asula coming on, Alex Murphy coming on, Jacob Murphy coming on, and then obviously Wissa and Voltemade. And at the point he brings Wissa and Voltemade on, I think the game's done already. And this is just to keep players fresh. But what I would say is, I do understand why he's sticking with the process. Because if you can get players to buy into this process and develop, we either have the opportunity to sell these players on for a lot more money than we've paid for them, or we will be going places. And I know it's difficult to say after losing 4-1, but honestly, having seen PSG midweek and us play a team that I would expect us to put out in a Carabao Cup against the world champions or European champions and world champion finalists, shall we say, and us to come away with a result of a draw, and then us go to Anfield and, I'll be honest, look like the better team for the first 35 minutes of the game. And Liverpool didn't look, they looked nervy. They didn't look like they knew how to cope with us. And if it wasn't for a moment of magic from Ekitike, and I'll be quite honest, he was the standout tonight. If Ekitike wasn't in that lineup, this game has a totally different result. And I'll give him credit, plaudits, flowers, the whole lot. He is a fantastic young talent, and he is a game changer. But there are still flaws in that team. And Newcastle exploited a lot of flaws. And what I would say is, and this is where I say with the Simon Hooper and the consistency and being at Anfield, and you know, like any Big Six team, if you always get the decisions at home. There are a lot of points in that game, and I can go back through, cut the clips and show you, but it's whether I can be bothered to do it. A push on Lewis Hall from Dom Szoboszlai when he's about to cross the ball. The shirt pulling. Kirkes off the ball on Anthony Elanga. There's a lot of instances where Newcastle don't get the rub of the green, and that is purely because that game is at Anfield against the Premier League champions. So I'll leave it with this. I genuinely think there are positives to take from this game. I genuinely think Newcastle started and put in a very good performance for that first half. And we got caught on the transition. And from that second goal going in, the hedge drop, we're away from home. Our away form hasn't been great. But there are positives to take. Seeing Joe Willock, Jacob Ramsey, Willa Sula, Anthony Elanga, players coming back from injury. I mean, we've got no Bruno, no Joel Linton, no Fabian Schär, no Tino Livramento. Jacob Murphy just coming back from injury. Dan Burn just back from injury. Willa Sula just back from injury. As a collective, there is quality in this team. It's just finding the confidence to unlock it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think that I'm breezing over what is I think a lot of people will think is a bad result. But genuinely, I don't think Liverpool were worthy of a 4-1 win. I'd probably say 2-1 would have been a fair result. They're definitely worth the win. But yeah, like, subscribe, get involved in the comments, and hopefully, Geordies, I will see you in the next one.